Hey guys, it's Peyton and today I'm going to be telling you what I read in the month of December. I also wanted to show off this lovely book nerd shirt. I freaking love it. So this is the last wrap up of 2018. I'm actually filming this in 2019, but whatever. This is the last one and I actually completed a full year of doing a wrap up video for every month, which I don't think I've done successfully before because I suck. But it's okay. I also want to mention that I read 61 books in 2018, so I'm pretty happy with that. My Goodreads goal was 50, so I outdid that and did way more than last year. Last year I only read 20, so I'm quite happy with myself. So I read 6.5 books this month, and I'm ready to share them with you, so let's just go ahead and get started. So the first book that I finished reading in December was Dumplin by Julie Murphy. I actually ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I read like half of it during November and I read the other half in December. I feel bad that I couldn't give it a higher rating. 3 stars isn't bad, but it just wasn't some outstanding sort of book that I needed to give this amazing rating. I just felt disappointed by that, but I didn't hate it. I still enjoyed like a lot of the book. It was like a fun thing. But I just didn't feel like I really fully connected with it and loved it as much as some other people like Brittany. She's still mad at me that I didn't like this that much. So this book is about a girl named Willadine who is fat and she is also a teenager, and her mother runs this pageant that's in her really small town in Texas every single year, and people just expect her not to ever join this because typically skinny girls join pageants and that's just like the stereotype that people have created for that. And she finally decides that she wants to do it this year and just kill those stereotypes and take over the beauty pageant, which in itself is a really fun plot. I just in the end felt a little bit underwhelmed by it. The next book that I read was The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars and thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one was one of those books that was really entertaining and just kept you on the edge of your seat just because you really wanted to know where it was going. I didn't think it deserved a full 5 stars because I did only have like one tab in it. It wasn't one of those books where every single moment or like page I had to have something tabbed. I still really liked it. Like I just don't really fully get why I couldn't tab it up, but I really enjoyed it. It just wasn't one of those where I felt touched by every line. This book is actually a retelling of A Christmas Carol. And basically the main character, Holly, kind of sucks. She is a Scrooge. She is a butthole. And one day she has the 3 ghosts, the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas future, and the ghost of Christmas present, come to her and try to like show her some things to get her to reevaluate her life and change her ways, but she doesn't, so she dies as they warned her she would. And when she dies, she doesn't fully die. She's actually taken on by this thing called Project Scrooge, which is the ghosts of Christmas past and all of them. They are trying to every year get a new person to focus on and try to change their life around. And she actually ends up being the ghost of Christmas past. This is not a spoiler, it's literally in the description. It's really interesting to see her character development, and there is a romance involved with the Scrooge that they picked out for this year, which I found really interesting as well, just because these two terrible people just coming together and kind of making themselves a little bit better. I liked that aspect of it, and I really want to reread this every Christmas because it was definitely something that got me in the Christmas spirit right before Christmas happened, so it was a good choice. The next book that I read was Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. This is the 3rd and final book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars and I flew through this one. It was an epic conclusion, but at the same time, it left things a little bit untied for her future series that she has because she always has something ongoing. You know Cassandra Clare. So it wrapped up this story, but it left stuff that I know is going to be taken on in The Wicked Powers, which I just found out the first Wicked Powers book is set to come out like 4 years from now. I'm gonna have to wait that long to have Ty and Kit. Like, no. But at the same time, I'm really excited for the Last Hours trilogy. But at the same time, I really want the Wicked Powers and to see what's happening after the epilogue in this book. Really enjoyed all the characters as normal. Cassandra Clare has such a great way with words and making characters the most amazing people if that's what she wants to do with them. This is about the world of Shadowhunters. They fight demons, and this is the 3rd series of Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter Chronicles. So if you want to begin this series, Emma Books has a great video on how to read the series. I get asked a lot and I'm just like, go watch her video, go search it up on her channel, and it will let you know how exactly to read the series if you're behind. But definitely do not read this before you read the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. So I'm forever gonna love Cassandra Clare, and I am really happy that she still continues to write so many books. Every year we get a new one at least from her, and it's just a great thing about my life. I always have something to look forward to. The next book that I read was Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Tahira Mafi has become one of my favorite authors, and this is her first middle grade book. It is the start of a duology. I believe it's a duology. There is a second book that's a companion to this one. I'm not normally a middle grade person. That's not normally the thing that I seek out, but I felt like I just needed to give this one a go since I do love her Shadow Me series so much. This book is about a girl named Alice who lives in an extremely colorful world, but she herself has no color other than her slight like golden eyes or something. It's like light brown eyes or golden, I don't know. So she's seen as kind of an outsider because look at all these magical colors, and then she's just literally nothing. Like, that's what people say to her. You look like nothing. And like, I'm sure that hurts really bad. And the kids in this world, which is Farronwood, is where she lives, but there's another world called Furthermore that she kind of enters. Farronwood has children that kind of all are gifted with one little magical ability, and when they reach a certain age, they are tested and put in front of everybody to see what this magical ability is, and they are given a task on something they have to complete to get, like, I don't know. I can't remember. So her and this guy named Oliver go on a little journey, and it's really fun. They go through Furthermore, and Alice's father has also disappeared years before this book, so she's also trying to find him. So it's a fun little story. It just wasn't something that was absolutely phenomenal that I felt needed more than a 3 stars, but I did enjoy it for what it was. The next book that I read was Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars, which you might be shocked about that rating if you've heard like some of other people's ratings recently. People have been obsessed with this book, and not saying I don't really enjoy this book. I thought it was a fun fantasy and a different take on some things, but in the end I think this is more of a stepping stone for an epic series or trilogy. I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a next book. I am interested in continuing. This book is about a world where there's demons living among the humans, and the demons are kind of seen as like the greater people, like they are better than the humans. The humans suck. And there's 3 different casts. There's the moon cast, what's the other one? I don't know, but there's another one. And there's also the paper cast. The paper cast is the humans. There is a demon king who basically gets paper girls, which are the humans, to live at his castle for a year, and he kind of uses them as like playthings. It's really terrible, and also trigger warnings for sexual assault, rape, all of that, just manipulation. Like, I do not like the Demon King is what I'm saying. And this is also a female romance. Our main character Lay actually has a romance with one of the other paper girls. She is actually taken from her family and thrown into this world of the palace. She just finds someone that she really likes, and it's not good because you're not supposed to be with anyone else when you're with the Demon King, or you're basically outcasted and you never get a job. I don't want to spoil you. It's definitely an interesting take. It was disturbing to read at times because the topics were so heavy, and I wasn't expecting this book to be so heavy for some reason. I was just expecting a fun fantasy, and then the topics just hit me hard, and I was feeling so many things for these girls, like all the things that were happening to them and how they were just kind of getting manipulated to think that it was okay. Definitely a hard topic. Only check this out if you feel you can read about those topics, but I do think this is going to be a good start for a trilogy. I think. The next book that I read was Puddin' by Julie Murphy, which is the companion novel to Dumplin. I also gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars, and Brittany's still gonna kill me because I'm hating on all of her favorite books apparently. I enjoyed this book for what it was. It was just a story between some of the characters from Dumplin. It follows 2 different ones from what Dumplin followed, which was just this one character. And I was feeling like I was going to like this one even more than Dumplin, just because one of the point of views follows this girl named Millie, who was my favorite character from Dumplin. She is also an overweight teen, and she was just so jolly and happy, and I just loved the positivity in her personality. It just made me so happy. We also have the point of view of a girl named Callie, who is basically the horrible mean girl from Dumplin, and I don't like her. I still don't like her. This book tries to make me like her. I see reasons why you could like her, but I still don't like her, so that doesn't really help with this book. I just think she has a bad attitude, and I know she grew. I'm gonna say it, she got better, but it's just still, I don't think I'd want to be friends with her, at all. And they're also like, "You're so funny, Callie." I'm like, no, she's not. I didn't laugh at anything in this book. She was never funny. What are you guys talking about? Millie really wants to be a journalist, but she is held back by people believing that she can't do it because she is a fat girl, and she is trying to go to a journalism camp throughout the summer when her parents want her to go to fat camp, which is a weight loss camp, which she just does not want to go back to. And Callie is just on the dance team causing some trouble, boo-hooing. That's basically what she doing. And they form an unlikely friendship, which was intriguing. I did see a review, I think it was Mayana's, where she said she wishes that it was actually a romance between the 2 of them. That would have been interesting. They both had separate boys, and I didn't really care. But if it had been a romance between the 2 of them, I feel like I would have liked that a lot more. That would have been a lot more interesting, is basically what I'm saying. And the final book that I read in 2018, wow, was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this book a lot because it's such a relatable book for someone like me who is kind of like an anxious teen. I'm not I have social anxiety. It's a thing. And the girl in here kind of has anxiety, so that fits. She also writes a webcomic. I just write books, but still I can relate. She writes a very popular webcomic that millions of people read online, and she does this anonymously. And one day this new boy at school shows up, and he ends up being a big fan of this webcomic, but she doesn't really want to tell him. And they form this whole romance, and he writes fan fiction about her work, which is very interesting, and she would read it and just be like, ooh, this is so good. One of the problems I did have with this book, though, I don't know if this is considered a spoiler, but if you don't want to hear it, I really don't think it is a spoiler, but you can just mute it until I put my hand down. Basically, there comes a point where Wallace, who is the cute boy or whatever, he wants to publish his fan fiction on her webcomic, and that pissed me off for some reason. Just the thought of he stole all of her ideas. This wasn't fan fiction technically, because this was a transcription. He was writing exactly every plot point, what the characters were doing. He was just following exactly what Eliza wrote in the way of her story and how the characters acted. He stole all of those ideas. He just put it in word format instead of just the comic. And that just bothered me that she was okay with that. I don't understand how she could possibly be okay with that. If it wasn't someone that was a cute boy that she was interested in, I don't think she would have been happy at someone trying to publish basically their ideas, their work into it. I just think that that's so annoying, and I feel like I'm the only one that thinks that. So let me know if you think that was kind of weird. That kind of just set me off. I was like, what? Why did he think that was okay? I don't know. And why did she think that was okay? As a writer, that just sounds like the worst thing ever. I do not want something like that happening to me. So why the frick did she want that to happen? The spoiler part is over. I still don't know if that was really a spoiler, but whatever. Other than that, I pretty much really enjoyed this book. It's just that one thing kind of just was weird. Another cool thing about this book is it did have little inserts of her comic, and as well as Wallace's little fan fiction transcription thing that he wrote. At least that's what I thought it was. That was a cool thing to have inserted. It was kind of like with Fangirl, they had the Carry On inserts, but I actually really didn't care about those at all when I first read Fangirl. I still haven't read Carry On. So that is it with this video. I really had a great reading month in my opinion. I read more than a normal month, so I'm just happy with that. I know other people read a lot more, but for me that was good. Like this video, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all of my social medias, which are linked down below. And go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked. And goodbye.